So here we go, straight into the topic, right? So that we will be able to spend some time around it. Markets are changing, economies are taking a nosedive.
Yeah.
Companies are crashing at a speed no one ever thought would happen. Consumers are changing at the same time. You come from marketing, you love that. How do you think it's going to change consumer behavior?
Well, I think it's consumer behavior is highly spoken of. There's few things I want to fundamentally dive into before I really take this topic and talk about it. Now, understanding consumer behavior, it's for the simplicity of its understanding. I would like to dissect it into two words. First, the consumer, then the behavior. So anything that changes in the consumer front would obviously influence and change the behavior, right? So we need to understand the consumer. Who are our consumers? Consumers are like you and me, as general normal people. Now, with this crisis, with this pandemic hitting everyone, it did not spare anyone.
Yeah.
Right? We know Prince Charles was infected. The Prime Minister of UK was infected, and also in Sri Lanka, we have so many different. It didn't spare anything. It didn't spare any community. It didn't spare any level of people, any professional. It affected everyone.
Yeah.
That's not in terms of infections, but the larger infection. More than the infection, the larger impact is on the economical conditions. Economically, it impacted every single citizen of our country, and I would presume the same across the globe. Except Antarctic, every other country has its impact. So, in general, consumers, their mindset is now being damaged. They're being influenced by this. It's all about negativism, right? From morning till evening, people sit in front of the TVs, they count the number of infections, they count the number of deaths. I think you need to understand the psyche of what the consumer is going through, right? And it's all about negativism. People are talking about, the economic impact, job losses, economic crashes, curtailment, people losing jobs, people getting infected, people getting quarantined. Some people are not disciplined to kind of stick to quarantine policies and creating a lot of fear psychosis. So the consumer in general is in fear psychosis. There is a lot of negativism. There is a lot of frustration. There is a lot of anxiety. A lot of people are depressed for various reasons. So this is the mindset of the consumer that you're talking about. Now, if you are to really look at the behavior, you need to first understand the mindset of the current consumer. So his or her behavior that he or she is going to demonstrate is definitely going to come out of this mind state, right? So what what we need to look out for is how they are changing their behavior. So in this context, they are looking for safety, they are looking for comfort, they are looking for convenience, they are not willing to take risks, they are very price conscious, they're becoming more price sensitive, and on the other hand, they are also keen, and some of them are desperate in getting certain supplies. Now, in this mindset, they are emotionally drained. So the consumer behavior is going to start reflecting these parameters. And as brands and as marketers, we need to be very sensitive towards this. Right? Just like we say, marketing is all about anticipating. There are multiple definitions, but in core, it's all about being as close as possible to the consumer. And there is no better time than this to be that close, right? So brands needs to be really looking out for those hooks, those symptoms, and how they can offer positivity amidst the lot of negativism. How can brands and marketers offer solutions? How can they offer emotional and functional solutions? Because people are scared, right? They want positivity, they want optimism, they want comfort, they want convenience, they want safety. They don't want to be associated with risk in becoming one of your close allies or your brand's allies.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to be very, very carefully driving this. And as marketers, we are responsible to look for those early symptoms, early indications rather, and use those indications to give genuine solutions towards our customers or the consumers in terms of tapping into their behavioral changes.
So you mentioned price-sensitive markets. how much of this is going to be price sensitive? Because at all given times, there are all types of consumers. Even during a time like this, there are people who are still able to afford many things. How much of this do you think will change in terms of, let's say, I as a user, back in the days, if I wanted to switch to the new iPhone, I didn't think twice. I bought it. I sold my old one, went to the new one. People change their vehicles once a year, some maybe even twice. That's something that we have always seen, and this is something that all companies take advantage of. How much of that do you think will change?
Well, because it comes down to the concept of essentials and basics, right? I mean, I will not be having a formula for all the organizations or brands to apply. However, it's very individualistic. I mean, when I say what's price sensitive for you may not be what is price sensitive for me.
That's right.
What is price sensitive for me, it's not going to be the same level another individual is going to deal with. But in general, I mean, if I was, like you said, using your same example, if you are okay to buy your second iPhone, now that third iPhone, the new iPhone's pricing will definitely have a larger impact on you in terms of deciding whether you're going to go to the new phone in the future or not.
That's right.
Because you will have to now prioritize much important stuff. If you are, someone your business is affected, if you're someone who's employed, but then your salary is curtailed, then definitely you need to prioritize. So in that context, sensitivity of the price is very subjective, but still it's going to apply across. I mean, coming back, in addressing this, again, the brands have to really justify their price points. I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, people are okay in paying a higher price, for any brand, as long as now their rationale, whether this is really worth it, is going to be in the working.
Yes, creates value.
It creates value. If it's going to give you that comfort, if the brands are going to talk to your heart and the emotions, and you're going to be very comfortable in putting that money away for that brand, certainly you're going to manage price sensitivity in a much positive way than just increasing your price. So that's what I really meant when I say it's price sensitive.